3, 2, 1. All right. So what's up, everybody? This is Cody, aka DFS Prodigy. I have one of the greatest UFC fighters so far that I've loved to watch, in Julio. So I'm just wanted to talk to him about his life, basically, and just his UFC career going forward. How have you been, man?
I've been great, man. Just so happy to be training again and getting ready to get back at it.
So let's just start from like your early career. So like how did it feel going into Dana White's Contender Series now that it's back and up running?
It's pretty exciting because I look at it. It was one of those great showings. Like I kind of in a way left my mark there. Although I didn't get the contract after winning by TKO.
Right.
I still made my showing, and I consider myself like an alum from Contender Series. I think it's a great way, and for anybody to get in, because it makes them fight. It's your toughest job interview. You're still not, and even if you win, you're not guaranteed to get the contract. But you know what? You leave a mark there where it lets them know, it's like, look, I'm going to be ready. So if you win impressively, you don't get a contract. It's like, they'll keep you in their head, and they'll be like, you might be a late replacement for a fight, so just be ready at all times.
Let's say, yeah, even though you did knock him out, yeah, that was a pretty good win. But then you got called up to fight Cholo Rosa, so that was a good fight with you and Rosa, or the replace.
So for that fight,
the replace Rosa.
And I fought Ige.
Yeah, so that was the Ige fight. Of course, is one of your biggest fights in your history. So, how'd you feel going into that fight?
Yeah, I was to be honest, like the excitement was an uncontrollable excitement because I was like, yo, I'm finally here. I'm finally in the UFC. I'm about to have my first fight. I was so excited. I was like a kid in a candy store.
Especially fighting against Ige.
Yeah.
So
it was an amazing fight.
And then you fought a few months later against Timer. So how'd that fight go for you? How were you going into that fight?
That fight, I was looking to finish him. He kind of got in my face a little bit. I think, he just tries to hype himself up. And I was like, all right. I was looking to go for a finish, and then took him down, just choked him out. That's it. I was just like ready for it.
And then, of course, the Julio Rosa fight, that was another good one of going into that fight. And you won knockout in the third round or so. So that was a good fight, of course, also.
Oh, man, that was like a highlight there for me. I was hoping I'd get like a bonus that night.
The bonus, yeah.
I didn't get it.
Right.
I didn't get it. I'm like, oh, that sucks. But oh well. Okay.
So how did your transition go from like going from the UFC, like from Ring of Combat to the UFC? Like talk about your transition, basically going from there to the big center of the UFC.
It was, it was a very interesting road because like from there, I did make the adjustment of going from bantamweight to featherweight, and I'm actually going to go back to bantamweight. But it was cool, I fought some very tough opponents, and the great thing is since I'm fighting, in New Jersey, or like people from New York City, it's like the talent here is insane. So it's like every opponent helped me get closer to getting to the ultimate goal, and was just getting into the UFC.
Right. So now you said that you're switching over to the bantamweight now?
Yeah, dropping back down.
So how do you feel going into that now with the weight loss and stuff?
It's going great. So that's why I'm kind of also, now I'm waiting to fight a little bit later on, possibly the start of the new year. Because I'm also making sure that my weight, dropping down, getting to a comfortable walk around weight where I don't have to cut and be completely sucked out and dehydrated, where I'm going to be comfortable. So really making progress in that and just making big changes.
Which, yeah, we've seen that a lot in those past UFC fights with fighters going down, like just passing out because of their weight loss, especially during the COVID times.
Yeah.
So that's why, yeah.
Like I want to make sure if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this right, and I'm also not going to miss weight, which is what I want to make sure that, look, you're still in a professional sport. You got to be professional. You got to make sure you make weight, plain and simple.
So how is it being from Queens? Because I'm from Texas, so it's completely different obviously atmosphere. So how's it feel just living there during these times of COVID and everything? Pretty much.
It's strange, man. It's really strange. You know, it's like you take off your mask for a second, people yell at you. You're a mask. It's a big deal for everything. So, but you know what? I think just it's something that just threw people. It threw people off. So I get it. I mean, some people are panicking a lot, but there's also like we have to keep going. You know, people's livelihoods that we have look, there's so many factors. Like if you go back to work, you might have a chance of catching it. But if not, it's like if you have a business, like you're gonna have to close down because you're not making any money. So it's like it's tough. But look, you gotta be able to provide for you and your family.
So what do you think of the Fight Island in Abu Dhabi?
That's freaking awesome. I'm so pumped that they did that.
Right.
Like I'll tell you what, Dana White, he kept it going. He
right.
kept it freaking going. And it was amazing. There's been amazing fights. I say every single one has been exciting.
Right. So I just wanted to pretty much just thank you for, of course, hopping onto my podcast and everything. It means a lot. And just talking to you is pretty awesome to me, man. Especially being a huge UFC fan.
Yeah, man, of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, man, and have a good one.
You too, bro. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you.